Hey, everybody, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia. Good morning, everybody.
And I'm Stephen Bonacor.
I'm back. I'm 80% back. I don't know, a frog in my throat or something. So if I'm a little off, it's because I'm just sad. And these guys have caused me to
We
be a little.
we had a very good time without you last week. I must
Yes,
say.
I heard that.
It was a very good time.
So, folks, we're glad you're here on Board Game Breakfast. Well, I'm glad you're here anyway. We have a contest that we're going to be running. This is for a Kickstarter called Tomorrow Dies Today. This is from Mooney Bin Entertainment. It just launched this past Tuesday, and you can see this game. We have a link in the description below, and so you can just go there and look at it. If you want to enter this contest, you can. It's for anyone in U.S. and Canada. We have 2 copies who will get it at the Loyal Henchman pledge level, which that's Stephen Bonacor pledge level is probably another name for it. This starts today and ends midnight on the 9th of September. And all you have to do is email us at contest@dicetower.com. And in the subject line, put tomorrow. And then in the body, tell us what's your favorite local game store and what city is it in. All right. So
I appreciate you calling me loyal. That's very nice.
I think it was focusing more on the henchman.
Henchman portion of it, yes.
actually,
By the way,
that's incorrect.
I thought today was my purple day. What's going on with that shirt of yours? I thought today I was supposed to be wearing the purple.
That's
No.
not purple.
My shirt's purple, man. That's purple.
That looks blue.
No, I'm purple.
Are we arguing about colors?
Yes.
It looks
Apparently.
yellow to me. Is it yellow or blue?
Enter the
Okay.
contest. There will be 2 winners. I hope you enjoy it.
It sounds like a cool James Bond title. Tomorrow Dies Today.
Nice.
Dun, 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 dun. Alrighty, folks. Well, we have a lot of board games and things to talk about. We have a game coming up later on, but we're going to start with some contributors. Here we go.
Hey guys, it's Deanna. I have another educational game to share with you today, and today's game is Money Bags. Money Bags is a great way for you to either introduce or review with your kids all the different coins and what they're worth. And it's also a great way to do some basic adding. So to play Money Bags, each person is going to select a game marker, and then on their turn, they're going to roll a die. They're going to move that number of spaces on the board, and then they're going to spin the spinner. The spinner will tell you if you are not allowed to use any specific coins, or if you can use any coins that you want to. So then you're going to go to the bank. Here at the bank, you're going to withdraw the number of coins to total up the number that you landed on the board. So for example, if you landed on 46 cents and you can do any combination of coins, then perhaps your child would choose to withdraw a quarter, 2 dimes, and a penny, which would total up to be 46 cents. They will then add those coins to their personal collection, and then it will be the next player's turn. There are also 2 special spaces on the board. One is the change it up space, where you take an amount of money from your collection and you change it into something else. So for example, if you have 2 nickels, then you have to exchange them for a dime. Or if you have 4 quarters, you can exchange those for $1. And if you do that exchange process correctly, then you earn 10 cents from the bank. The second special space on the board is the $sign symbol, and each time a player lands here, they get 41 cents from the money bag space that's on the board. The game ends once one player has reached the finish line, and then everyone will count their money, and whoever has the most money is the winner. We have really enjoyed playing Money Bags so far. This is a new one that we added to our board game collection this school year, and so for us, it's been a really great game. So I hope you guys will check it out. That's it for today. I'll be back next time to share another educational game. Hope y'all enjoy the rest of Board Game Breakfast.
Hi, here's a game designed by Chad Jensen called Welcome to Centerville. It's a great game, look how happy it is. Chad Jensen did some war games. And in here, this is a relatively light dice-based board game for 2 to 4 players. It has Okay, I can't do this anymore. Chad Jensen is a hardcore wargamer. He did Combat Commander. Now that's the game you want to play. That's the one. This is it. Okay? You know, I feel like Stephen Bannock here. One day I'm retired, one day I'm not retired, one day I have a haircut, one day I don't have a haircut. You know, I was discussing with Sam Healy. I said, Sam, what do I do? Do I go calm, this and that? And this is what he says.
Shut up!
Why, thank you, Sam. In this game, the Peloponnesian War, designed by Mark Herman. Mark Herman. Hey, Mark Herman. Okay, anyways, you fight as a Greek, and even as a Spartan. And this is a solo game. It's one of those weird games. And so, you're winning, right? You're winning. So what happens? Well, Mark devised a system where you switch sides now, because you're too strong. So now you're the weak guy. And now, you're gonna fight the Greeks. I mean, what's going on? That's the way you learn. And this game, by Hamish Pila, by Aaron Lee Escobedo, it's called Meltwater. The world has been annihilated by nuclear bombs. Nuclear, not nuclear. Clear. And there's only one place left in the world that's safe. Antarctica. So the people who live close to Antarctica make it to Antarctica. But the point of this game, it's a two-player game, but you can play it solo. The point of this game is to actually starve people because there's not enough food. What are you going to do if there's not enough food? And there's 3 phases in the sequence of play. The third phase is you draw a doomsday card. And radiation spawns. Anywhere. You could be there. So, you die. And the point of this game is for you not to die first. You let them die first. Then you die second. And you win. Fun. But what's the point? Who cares? Where can I get this guy? Crowbar by Dream Team Herman Lutman. This game is solo. You're gonna die. You're gonna die. But the fun is trying to make it. It's a puzzle. How can I get this, there? There's a lot of these guys waiting for you there, and they're bad guys. That's just me being crazy. I'm laying it on. I'm a nice, calm guy like this. Like, that's what it's like, you know? But hey, you want to be crazy and have fun? War games make you crazy and have fun. I'll see you next week. Oh, yeah, because this is normal.
Howdy, everybody. I'm David, and welcome to a segment I'm calling Upgrade DIY. Now, the idea behind it is that together we create some silly board game upgrades, but just using stuff from around the house. Now, one of my favorite things is big, chunky dice, just like the ones you see here in King of Tokyo. And so on today's episode, I thought we could make our own set of even bigger dice. Now for this project, I've provided 2 different templates for you to choose from. Just type in the link shown here, and that'll take you to the download files. You can decide if you want to go all in and make the full set of dice for King of Tokyo, or maybe you just want to make 1 or 2 standard D6 dice for use in some other games. Either way, the process is going to be the same. After you've printed out the pattern on plain paper or cardstock, glue it onto the glossy side of some cereal box cardboard using a glue stick or some spray glue if you have it. Then score along all the dotted lines using a ruler and something like a knitting needle or a butter knife. Using a sharp utility knife or craft knife, cut out the shape along the solid line. Gently pre-bend all score lines about 45 degrees. Working your way through the tabs in order, apply a little bit of white glue to the tab, then spread it very thinly over the whole area using an old brush. Then align the tab with the adjacent edge and hold it there for about 30 seconds. Now for this last face, you're going to have to apply glue to all 3 tabs at once and then align the sides as the glue sets. And finally, brush some glue onto the edges of each hex tab and then press into place and hold until it's dry. And there we go, we're done. If you want to, you can do some sanding along the edges and then some touch up with some white paint, or you can leave it as is. If you enjoyed today's episode, please consider subscribing to my main channel, Woodfish Toys. And I'll see you next time on Upgrade DIY.
All right, we're back with the news. There is not a ton of news this week, but there's some pretty interesting stuff. We're going to start with Games Workshop. They announced another game. They're still making a lot of these board games, which I find really fascinating because I think they do a lot to bring people into the hobby because a lot of 40K gamers will buy them because they come with miniatures that work with the game. This one's called Rise of the Orcs, or Space Marine Adventures Rise of the Orcs. It's a 1 to 5 player game, 30 minutes. It's a cooperative game, and it says you can build everything without clippers or glue, and I think that's true because I'm pretty sure Roy built the one that came in for us. Yeah,
Cool.
It's gonna be at Barnes and Noble or friendly local game stores. It's coming out in September.
So by reading it, it's a castle defense style game, and at first I didn't even see the miniatures because on the picture we have here, they're kind of a little hard to see in the middle there, but they don't look like they're important to the game if they're just going to sit there in the middle, because that looks like what they're trying to do with them. I don't know.
Yeah, but what they do with these is I found is that people will buy them because they can use these models.
Sure.
So there's a lot of people who buy these games with no intention of ever playing the game. But then they might play the game, which I think is cool.
Yeah, I agree with that.
If it's good.
I like a 30-minute castle defense game. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited about the next piece of news from Ankama Games. We have a title coming out 2021, Nile Artifacts, and this is from the Dunstan Gilbert duo, who they're really making good games these days, I think.
Those guys make a lot of games too. They're busy. They stay busy, and this looks beautiful.
That cover's really good.
They're making a lot of games. They're making some good games, and I think you can never have enough games set in Egypt. So I like it. I think it looks really pretty.
Was that sarcasm?
No, I'm not. No, I actually think it's a great theme for gaming. Obviously, it's about 1,000 of them, and I really like them.
Well, there was like a lull of 5 years where there wasn't many. Like, Knizia kind of Egypt everyone out. He's like, Harry, you want 20 Egypt games? People are like, all right, that's good. But
no, I do really like them. Generally I like games.
I like them as long as they're pretty looking like this one. When they just basically show you the desert, you're like, okay, I got it. Yeah. Now, this one looks fun. And Ankama production is really good. So,
yeah.
All right, it's a wonderful.
Cool. Very cool. Go ahead.
It's a wonderful world. Expansions are coming to retail. These expansions, I believe, were part of the Kickstarter campaign. They're expansions. So It's a Wonderful World is essentially it's similar to Race for the Galaxy in many ways, where you have you're building a tableau in front of you, and these expansions were kind of like modules that you stuck in. Is it like
I got to completely beg ignorance on this. Is this like a world that has the future in it, plus it's got like gangsters? That's what I'm seeing on this particular artwork here, which looks really cool. Okay.
Yes, but it's more of a utopian future type look, but
COVID.
But thanks. But it doesn't have anything to do with the theme at all. It is literally just a card engine building game. So these modules, which I've messed with a bit, they're fine. I'm really happy with the game as is. I don't necessarily need the extra stuff, but some people are going to want it.
I love the artwork.
Now, Tom, correct me if I'm wrong. I thought that I read somewhere that that War or Peace was part of the previous Kickstarter, but that Ascension was new. Is that right, or have they both been? That
sounds right. I don't remember seeing the Ascension at all, but I definitely have played with the War and Peace stuff. But there are also like two modules that kind of do this. I don't think you can. Maybe you can put them together, but I don't think so. They tried to do this whole legacy type thing, but it wasn't really legacy. One of those deals.
Yeah, this is one of those games that escaped my. I just never got around to playing it the first time it came out, and it's obviously been around for a bit now. And eventually, I'm hoping to play it. I'm glad it's getting supported, but I've heard good things, so I'll stay tuned for more.
Now there's some new card games coming from Osprey Games, Imperium Legends and Imperium Classics. These are coming in May 2021 from the combination of Nigel Buckle and David Terzi. I don't know if I know Nigel Buckle.
We all know David.
Well, he's That's because he's designed 100,000 games in 2020.
Give or take.
I'm
I
looking
like
at
the
Nigel
look
Buckley.
of these quite a bit. The look is great from the Miko. That Miko artwork is really shines on these covers.
And Nigel Buckle did Celtic Quest back in 2005, and then Omega Centauri in 2014, and that's it. He has this Imperium game coming up, but he has a game called Imperium, and there's a game called Imperium Classics. So I don't know what the difference is. Imperium doesn't have a publisher. According to Board Game Geek, it's confusing. Oh, NSKN.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, this might be a reprint or reworking of that previous design. Maybe with David's help now, that could be it. It seems interesting enough. I always worry a little bit when a game seems to come out all at once with a bunch of stuff, and not a Kickstarter. That's its own phenomenon. But like when a game comes out and it's like, you can get this box and it has 16 factions, and this one has another 32. And I'm like, but is it good in the first place, right? I mean, or are you just trying to sell me 48 factions before anybody knows whether this has the legs for 48 factions? We'll see.
So which of these would you buy if you were only going to get one?
I like that. I think I like that Legends.
Well, the Legends ones
cover.
are like civilizations that it's Atlantean, Arthurian, Minoan.
Oh, Atlanta.
Legends that we don't, I mean, it may or may not be real type
Yeah,
stuff.
I like it. Yeah, that's the one for me.
I'd probably go classics. But it's funny, I can't really tell what type of game it is at all, other than it's a card game. I don't see it's a civilization deck building game. Okay,
There's not a lot of info, but Osprey makes some pretty interesting stuff, and I like
Agreed.
that these are compatible.
Yep, agreed.
All right, Luma is a company that most of you watching may not know anything about, but I really like them because they are bringing a lot of companies to America. We already mentioned Ankama, which is one of the companies they bring. They bring Super Meeple, and so they're a distributor that brings this stuff in. And so they've merged with ILO 307.
Yes.
Is that how you say that, or is it ILO 307?
Probably ELO, something like that. I'm taking a guess. Maybe it's ILO.
So ELO is also a distributor, but they represented stuff like Blue Orange, Bombeck, Studio H, and Matico. So this is a nice conglomeration. I know the people who work for Luma, they're fantastic. I really like their stuff.
They're more of a, I know it says distributor in here, and they might even call themselves, they're more of a, like a PSI consolidator or almost a co-publisher of games, because they're not like one of the major distributors in Canada, which is what it kind of says here. I know Jules very well from his time with Asmodee and Simon, and
right.
It's interesting to see that they're continuing to find some really good publishers to work with from overseas, though. So I think this is probably good for them.
All right, and the biggest news of the week, probably, Eric Lang is leaving. Come on.
Who is this guy?
Who's
this guy?
Yeah.
I don't know. I never
He
heard of
announced
him.
that he's going to go. He's going to be focusing on freelance game design and activism in the board game hobby. He said that he and both Kamana both said it's 1,000%, I believe was the phrase they used, amicable. And what's interesting is when he announced that he was leaving the company to go back freelance, they threw in a bunch of side announcements like Blood Rage sequel, boom, and just those 3 words or 4 words, And also they're going to be doing Cyberpunk 2077 and a game with Mike Elliott called Barge, which is a weird name.
I'm guessing it's a pirate game.
But no one cares because we said Blood Rage sequel.
No one cares. True. I care about that Cyberpunk announcement. That sounds neat. I like Cyberpunk 2077 as a theme, or whatever number they're using. The number changes, the world doesn't. So I like that setting. The Blood Rage sequel, whatever. We have Blood Rage, all right? That's enough.
You're a cold man. So I did know about that this was happening, not like a year before or something like that. But this was planned out a long time before. And I completely believe that this was a very amicable thing. There's not an issue.
Oh, I'm not insinuating otherwise.
Well, everybody out there will, you know how it works. People are gonna make the assumption on some level that this is a thing. I do not believe it was. Eric would have probably told me, and then I would have shut up and I would not be saying anything. So I think
in the future, if he doesn't say this about somebody, you know there's bad blood behind the scenes.
It might be true, but what he really wanted, and it comes out in here if you read closely, that he wanted to get really back to his roots. He doesn't want to be a corporate guy, and he had to be a corporate guy in this. He really wants to design games. He wants to take his games or collaborations with a design, and he wants to focus on that and just go back to the roots of like, I'm going to design games. And he's got some very specific things in mind, very specific styles in his mind, like family games. He wants to do some lighter games as well. Not that he already has all those CMON games that are in the pipeline that they mentioned, and that's still going to happen, and he's going to work on them. But he's also looking to do some lighter weight stuff that would get out, basically, mass market, air quotes, hobby mass market, Ticket to Ride style, and things like that. I wish him the best. I think this is great for him. And
I believe that takes place around now, right? It's
2 days ago. It was effective.
Okay.
So, yep. I tweeted out something like, "Congratulations on your retirement. Kids are doing it." He's not.
He didn't respond probably because not worth his time. All right, so Bombix has a new game coming out called Codex Nautilus, which has a really colorful cover.
I love that cover. I think it's great.
I was going to say,
color palette.
When I first glanced at it, I thought, and then I took a closer look at the cover, and I thought, wow, I really like it.
Yeah.
It's a good way to make an abstract game, which I'm sure this is, look cool.
Yeah, the illustration, the sort of line artwork behind the color does take a second to reveal itself. You sort of have to look a little deeper at it. I like that look. It's very captivating. This makes me think of very ornate playing cards. Like the center, everything inside the diamond, was sort of like the little detail around the outside. That's what it reminds me of, a particularly ornate court card in a fancy deck of cards.
So speaking of a cool-looking, nice cover, the same company is also putting out an Aginarium expansion with possibly one of the more disturbing pictures I've ever seen. What is going... Like, Aginarium was already a weird-looking game, but that picture is... What is that?
Are you talking about the box cover or the board thing, whatever that is?
Whatever that is. Not the box.
The box is odd enough. Now, that board is wild, to say the least. That would be... I think this has to win for oddest artwork choice of the year. I'm putting that as a new category in the Dice Tower Awards.
See, you like Aginarium, right?
I do like Aginarium. The original release has tons of weird artwork. It is very, it dips a toe into like Nightmare Juice territory.
Yeah, this is like what Nightmares are made of.
This is jumping into that pool like the Joker tossing in Harley Quinn. You know what I mean? That's what this is. There's what appears to be a goat with a turret from a tank coming out of its mouth.
I personally like the pig riding the kind of airplane-y thing,
like
holding
holding
a bomb that looks like a pumpkin.
Like the Green Goblin bomb.
It's a Green Goblin bomb. This is insane. I mean,
is truly insanity.
Somebody
looked at this and thought, "Yep, that's what we're going with."
This is Bruno Cathala too. Wow.
Yeah, the graphic design is super weird. But I'm excited. I'll tell you. Besides making fun of it all, which I will continue to do, I'm excited for more content for this game. This is absolutely not the kind of game that I thought would ever get more content. Didn't do that well. Looked obtuse. Is obtuse as a game, mechanically speaking. So I'm happy there's more.
Alrighty. Then something that's not small, the seventh Citadel Kickstarter is launching on September 22nd, and I'm going to go out and say I think this will make over $5 million.
If it doesn't make over $5 million, I'm buying you a steak dinner.
I win either way in this situation.
But you're going to buy me 2 steak dinners.
Getting part of the 5 million, because no, you don't win either way.
So this is a sequel to Seventh Continent, which a lot of people like. Oh no, I'm sorry, it's not a sequel. Whatever, they can call it not a sequel. They're like it's a brand new game. That doesn't mean it's not a sequel.
It was odd when I read that, because it certainly looks like it's going to be the same style of game, but maybe they're saying it doesn't link in to
that's fine.
in a theme, or or in an adventure style way. This is a separate adventure.
Yeah, the first one took place, quote unquote, in the real world with a little bit of mythology in it. This one is like it's all craziness. I don't even understand like the sentence. As for the worm controller and their indoctrinated henchmen, no one's seen them in decades. And then it talks about the Kel protectorates bathed in constant gloom, suffocating under clouds of dust belched up by the burrowers. It's like weird fantasy /
What? The 7th Grimdark.
I'm super pumped about this.
Yeah,
of course,
it's going to do really well.
I would imagine that this will not be released till 2022, considering how long it took for Seventh Continent to come out.
Hopefully they got better at their planning, but this is the kind of game that has to be complete already before they put it up there, or else it could take them so many years to get this done. But
sure,
yeah, but definitely looking forward to something like this, because the one time I played Seventh Continent, Tom, it was with you at like 4 in the morning. That was the most insane thing at one of the 24-hour marathons. We were playing that and my eyes were just bleary, and you were explaining it and I'm like, okay. And then by like an hour in, I'm like, this is really good. If I was more awake, it'd be better. It was good. Great game.
All right. And finally, for the mobile devices, Hiroshima Convoy is coming out. Now what was this originally called? It was called
Convoy?
Oh, it was just called Convoy, right?
I don't remember that.
I do, Stephen Bannock. You don't have to remember everything.
This was it was called The Convoy. That's right.
Excuse me.
Get it right.
You were wrong.
Excuse
anyway,
me. Need a break?
Z is wrong.
This is an asymmetrical 2-player game where one person is controlling a convoy, the other person's like the rebels trying to take it out before it gets to the city. It's a really good game. Actually, it's somewhat similar to the game that the Stronghold put out, the Revolver, I think. Except this one's really good, Hiroshima Convoy.
You're such a jerk. Wow. So it's similar in the fact of saying like the style where you're like one-on-one and you're trying to just beat people at a given location. Is that what you mean by similar? I don't follow you.
Yes.
Because I've never seen the game Convoy.
That's what it's like.
Okay, cool. Revolver's excellent.
I'll tell you what. I still own one of these 2 games, and it's not Hiroshima Convoy. So, look at that. Look at that. Calling dibs on this for what's happening, Tom.
Okay, fine. Maybe we can play each other. Well, we'll see.
No, pass. Never mind.
No longer.
Right. The game show's coming. But before that, we got some more contributors. Here we go.
Hi everyone, welcome to Perfect Pairings. I'm Lexi from All Aboard Gamer, and today we're going to make cottage cheese-filled pierogies with kielbasa. Okay, so we have about 4 cups of all-purpose flour here. I made a depression in the middle, and I'm going to crack 2 eggs, beat them with a little bit of salt and pepper, and then we're going to mix that together for our dough. Now, when you're mixing this, you can always add more flour or water. Okay, for our filling, I drained an entire, 24-ounce tub of cottage cheese. And we're going to beat 1 egg, add some salt and pepper, and then mix this all together for our filling. Now we're going to roll out our dough. It's going to be about 1/8 of an inch in thickness. And you can use a biscuit cutter if you have it, to cut the shape of the pierogi, or you can use a 32-ounce can.
and we think it pairs well with Lorenzo il Magnifico. The origins of pierogi, as I've already mentioned, are disputed. But how are they disputed? Some legends say that pierogis came from China through Italy from Marco Polo's expeditions, but others contend that pierogis were brought to Poland by Saint Hyacinth of Poland, who brought them back from Kiev, which is now the capital of Ukraine, I believe. I immediately thought, well, if the legends are true for Marco Polo, then perhaps Lorenzo il Magnifico is the game that would pair. All right, so that's going to do it. We thank you very much for watching. If you're watching this on the Dice Tower, you can see the full-length version of this episode over at our channel. We thank you very much for coming along, and enjoy your breakfast.
Hi everybody.
Hello, we are Ryan and Bethany.
From Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
Today we're talking about barrymandering. This is a game where it's an I cut, you choose game for two players. One person's going to be wanting to get strawberries. One person's trying to get blueberries on their cake. And then you're cutting these different regions of the board, kind of like, gerrymandering. And then you are eating those sections by flipping them over, revealing mystery tiles, which are kind of like represented by undecided voters, I think is what they're going for. And so in that way, you're trying to fill up these canvas on this cake. It's all super lighthearted, even though it's dealing with a somewhat heavy topic of gerrymandering. But in terms of berries, it's a lot of fun.
So I didn't realize we were eating this cake, and now I'm disappointed that I didn't incorporate that more into my gameplay. But anyway, it doesn't matter. This game was really fun. The ease of setup was great. The only issue that I really had with it was that I felt like after about half the game, it happened. Like, there wasn't a lot of choice afterwards. That was just a Bethany thing, though. That's not necessarily like...
Yeah, no, there's definitely, in the first half of the game, you're setting up the board so that in the second half of the game, it has to do what you... Because of the way the groupings work, I can't really have to explain, but because of the way the groupings work, the second half of the game is kind of pre-programmed by that first half of the game that you did.
Or it's predetermined.
By me winning.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Everybody, thanks so much for tuning in. You can always find us on YouTube. We are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews. We will see you next time.
Bye, guys.
What's up, everyone? My name is Melissa McCack, and this is Smashing Buttons and Slamming Cards. This is a segment where I talk about a video game I love and I connect it to a board game I love. And this week, I want to talk about Pokemon Go, which is for the phone, I guess, where you're running around catching a whole bunch of Pokemon. I really used to love this game. My fiance, she still plays this game and she loves it, and which is really cool that people are still playing this game. I sometimes open up the app, but I remember that it was an awesome experience when I was playing it. I would like to connect that to Wingspan, and here's why. So in Pokemon Go, it's the whole concept of, you gotta catch them all, right? And you're throwing berries at Pokemon so that way you could actually capture them and catch them and make them your pets or something like that. And in Wingspan, you're kind of doing the same thing, right? You're trying to get a bunch of different kinds of birds, and you're feeding them certain different kinds of food, like worms or whatever it might be, to I guess catch these birds, or I don't really know what you're doing. And you're putting them into your tableau, and they all give you sort of different special abilities, a lot like the Pokemon do. They give you different kinds of special abilities as you're building this engine. And I feel like Pokemon Go is sort of like a family-friendly game, and so is Wingspan, apparently. But either way, I think that the themes kind of mesh in an interesting way, where you're just trying to find a whole bunch of different types of creatures, really. Even though in Wingspan it's all birds, there are different kinds of birds with different wingspans and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, that's it for this week. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like, you could check out mine and my brother's channel called Room 51. I'll catch you next time.
Let's talk about box topping.
What's the deal? Tabletop board games is what I do. Charlie gonna hit you with the quick review.
Charlie, you may be asking, what's box topping? Glad you asked. It's keeping a visual record of who won the game, when, and writing down any other feats related to it. You got the box, and the inside top of it, you write down score, who played it. I'm gonna explain to you why that's a great idea to do this.
Rule number 1.
Never box top a practice game. As long as there's one person at the table that does not know how to play the game, you cannot write your name on the box lid. I happen to win every practice game. I happen to not win any other game. My name is barely on the lid.
Rule number 2.
Write your name on the lid as small and clearly and legibly as you can.
Legible.
If you write a gigantic signature and it takes up half the box and it's clearly you just trying to show off how big and great you are, that's wonderful, that's great, but guess what? You're never allowed to write your name on the box again. You're banned from writing. Lost Cities, we played this a lot. Look how many times we've been able to write our names and dates and who won. Ticket to Ride, someone wrote yes all the way across. That takes up half of my box. That real estate is important. You can't get that back. You're banned. You're banned.
Rule number 3.
Don't just write your name and the date and the score, but try to write something that's a memorable experience that when you look at that, when you read that list, you'll laugh at it because it's something that brings up good positive memories. When my wife beats me in Lost Cities for the 300th time, I can say, yeah, honey, you won, you won. But did you beat that high score I got? Huh? Huh? And I could sleep comfortably on the couch knowing that I got that high score. Hope you consider these reasons as to why you should be box topping your games. Recording, keeping track, making a history of your game. Every gamer should be doing it.
All right, everybody, welcome to today's game show. It is Mr. Bannock versus Mr. Garcia versus the people. And what we're going to do is we have a series of polls that I'm going to be putting in chat. And in fact, I'm going to pop the first one in now. And everyone is then going to vote on these polls. So look in chat. You can vote on the poll. And then Mr. Bannock or Mr. Garcia are going to guess. They're going to try to guess the second most voted on answer. If they get that answer, they will receive 4 points. They can pick the same answer. That's fine. If they get the third most voted on answer, they'll get 2 points. Any other answer, they will give the people 1 point. So the people could get 2 points every round.
And I'd like to quickly point out that I am now 2-0 on Board Game Breakfast in these game shows. I beat Tom, and then I beat Z last week. Just pointing that out. Just pointing.
All righty. Well, let's start with the first poll. A lot of people are voting. I'm going to give you this. So these are just all over the place questions. The first one is, which of these do you want most in a game? So the answers could be painted miniatures, metal coins, double layered boards, game trays with a Z, laminated player aids, or promo cards. So that's painted miniatures, metal coins, double layered boards, game trays, laminated player aids, and promo cards.
What do you want the most in a game?
Yes, which of these? Well, which of these? So we're gonna, since he just called himself reigning champion, we're gonna let Mr. Bannock pick first, and then Mr. Garcia of the different ones in here. You can table talk all you want. You can pick the same one. Doesn't matter.
So, learning from my experience with Terraforming Mars, I'm picking double layer player boards because, oh my goodness, did people want those things? And we have, the company has sold quite a few of those. So double layer player boards it is.
I would like to say triple layer player boards. I will.
Not allowed.
Double down. So I want to avoid number one, and I'm thinking number one tricky, but I know people will love their game trays. I also wonder how many people know what a game trays is with the Z. So I'm gonna say that not enough people are gonna know what exactly they do and make to vote. So I'm picking it as possibly the 2 or 3.
Which one?
Game trays, because they are beautiful inserts.
All right. Well, the lowest ranked one here, we have 84 votes.
Laminated player aids.
Is promo cards, actually.
Yeah, I was going to say.
What?
Yep.
Then number 5, laminated player aids. Number 4, metal coins. Number 3, painted miniatures. Woo! Which means one of you got the number 2 and one of you got the number 1. Oh. And it wasn't close here. Number 2 got 15 votes. Number 1 got 34. And number 1 is double layered boards. Number 2 is game trays. So that's 1 vote, 1 point for the people, and 4 points for Z Garcia.
I said your reigning terror is over, Bannock.
I was too good. I got to think a little bit less.
Alrighty.
Think of
Let's
things
go.
you would have actually done while at the company. You know what I mean? and then you come in at like 2 or 3. Yeah.
Alrighty. Which of these animals would make the worst pet? All right. So you can pick black widow spider, hippo, anaconda, dung beetle, scorpion, or cat.
That's messed up.
That is messed up.
You're such a cat hater.
He's a hater.
Okay, say him again, please.
So black widow spider, hippo, anaconda, dung beetle, scorpion, or cat.
The worst pet, which is the worst pet.
Which of these, anyway? And this time, Z is going to be picking first from the lot.
All right, no problem. Let's see. I know some people actually have scorpions. I know some people have snakes. I don't know about an anaconda, but they have snakes. Spiders, yeah, sure. I have to say, I would assume having both a hippo or an anaconda would be really inconvenient. So I'm going to go with anaconda. That's got to be a pain. That's got to be, such an annoying creature to feed, keep. Hope it doesn't, wrangle you up and break all your bones and eat you. It's just kind of a hassle.
You're so wrong on that one, Z. Hippo's going to be number 1.
Yeah,
and
right.
I know the people truly hate spiders, including me. So I will pick black widow spider.
All right, so black widow spider for Bannock, and you said, what did you say again, Z?
Anaconda. Pay attention. Write it down.
Anaconda. All right, so we have 99 votes this time. Ooh. Coming in 6th place with 7 votes, dung beetle. Coming in 5th place with 8 votes, scorpion. 4th place with 9 votes, cat.
Ooh.
So, then the number 1 by a mile with 42 votes was, as you both said, the hippo, for sure.
Here we go.
Number 2 with 20, and number 3 had 13. Number 2, black widow spider.
There we go.
Anaconda number 3. So that's 2 points for Z and 4 points for Mr. Bannock. By the way, people, I've changed your score. You will now get 2 points each time they're wrong. So that otherwise you'll never catch up. So right now the people have 2, Z has 6, and Bannock has 4.
Can't believe he changed the rules in the middle of the game.
I know. What's up with that?
Unbelievable.
Play testing?
We're play testing it for a real game.
Talk to the judge. All right.
Talk to the judge.
So the next one, we're back to board games. Which of these IPs, intellectual properties, would you like to see a great game made of? All right, we get asked all this all the time. So here are the IPs. First one, Bill and Ted. Second one, Beetlejuice. Third, Spirited Away. Fourth, The Goonies. Fifth, The Karate Kid. And 6th, Willow. So we got Bill and Ted, Beetlejuice, Spirited Away, The Goonies, The Karate Kid, or Willow. Which of these would you like to see a great game made of? These all probably have several games in existence, but I would argue that there's no great game.
No Spirited Away game exists, right? I mean,
I don't know.
I pick first?
Yes, you're going to be picking first, so think carefully about this. Since you are catching up to Z, this is your chance.
Help me out here, Stephen. What are you
let me help you out. I'm going to take Beetlejuice. And, you play that third Beetlejuice card, and all of a sudden he shows up and wreaks havoc on you. I like it. I'm designing it right now as we speak, right in my head. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
I like it. That's cool. And I can see that being a neat card game with a little kind of, rummy-esque card game.
Yeah. Boom. He shows up and he steals your stuff. I don't know.
That's pretty good. I am worried Bill and Ted will be 1. I'm a little worried. It might be one, especially right now. It's in people's minds, So I'm gonna try to dodge a bullet there, though. Really, I think that's my number one. Let's go with the Goonies.
Bill and Ted is definitely number one. Guaranteed.
All righty.
Yeah.
Well, number 6, we have 105 votes. Number 6, this is very close, by the way. Number 6 with 13 votes is Willow, which is too bad because I like Willow a lot. But
yeah.
Number 5 with 14 votes. Oh, Willow
Sure,
just
right.
caught up to it with 14, but doesn't matter. We stop the voting. Number 5 is Beetlejuice. That's 2 points for the people.
You're out.
Whoa.
Number 4 is, well, it's a tie, actually. So I guess it's 4 and 3. And that's Bill and Ted and the Karate Kid.
Okay.
Number 1 by a mile with 30 votes was Spirited Away, making number 2 The Goonies.
That's it.
Wow.
You can't catch me now.
All right, so right
That's not
now,
good for me.
the people have 4 points. Z has 10 points, and Mr. Bannock has 4 points. But there are several questions left. We have plenty of time. All right, next one.
You're only as good as the people, Steven. How does it feel to be one of the people?
All right, folks, for those
I
of you
don't
filling
like
out this poll, I don't know why there's some ampersigns in here, but whatever. It says you're hungry at 11 p.m. Do you order blank? So we have Chinese, Thai, Mexican, Italian, barbecue, and nothing. You're hungry at 11 p.m. Do you order Chinese, Thai, Mexican, Italian, barbecue, or nothing?
Is it me first?
Yes, it is.
I know there's going to be a solid amount of people who are going to say nothing. They're lying to themselves and us, but they're going to answer nothing. They're just they mean nothing from among those things. You know what I mean?
No, they
but
mean
you
nothing.
know you're getting pizza. Don't lie to me. You know you're picking up that phone and getting
don't
some
try to
pizza.
influence-
Well,
Italian
I was
food.
going to put
Influencing
pizza
the
as
audience.
one of the answers. I was going to put pizza as one of the answers, but then I knew someone would be like, Italian, pizza. And I thought, okay, never mind.
Italian's
Italian.
not, pizza's not Italian, right,
Oh, what-
Steven?
It absolutely is Italian.
How would you know, Steven?
How would I know? How would I know? I
Forget
know.
about it.
Forget about it.
I'm going to go with... I got nothing to lose, baby. I'm going with Mexican. I'm feeling it.
All right.
Nothing.
about
Nothing is the number one answer. And if it's not, I'm very ashamed of everybody out there that's ordering food at 11 p.m. or eating. Go to bed.
Don't
Have a glass of
shame
water.
people.
You
Don't
go to
shame
bed. Yeah, I know. But health is a good thing, too. I'm going with Italian because pizza is part of Italian, and people will probably have a cold slice of pizza or something like that from their refrigerator or just order it. Go ahead. Pizza.
All right, from 117 votes, you are both correct in that nothing was the number one answer, with 43 self-righteous people putting that down.
Good for you guys.
All right, number 6 was barbecue with 3 votes. All right, so then we come down to the nitty-gritty here. We have 26, 22, 14, and 10 votes. 10 votes was tie, so that one's out. So then we have third place, Chinese, with 22 votes. So one got 26 and one got 14 between Mexican and Italian. One of you got 4 points and one of you got nothing. And the person with 4 points, 26, Mexican. Nothing for Italian with only 14 votes.
Oh, come on.
Deal with that.
All right. I still think you could catch up here, Mr. Bonacor, but it's going to be tricky.
No.
Oh.
Here's the next question. What are the chances that Stephen Bonacor is going to catch up to me? First, 0% chance. Second choice, negative 10% chance.
The only good thing about this, what's going on right now, is that I'm not losing to Tom. That's good. I'm okay with this.
The people have 6 points. Z has 14 points, and Bonacor has 4. All right.
I feel good.
So
I might celebrate with some Mexican at 11 p.m. tonight.
So we all know Board Game Geek ranks games. So which of these 2020 games will be ranked in the top 1000. If you had to pick just one of them, none of these games are currently in the top 1000, but they very well could get there. Okay, so here are the games.
Okay.
Imperial Struggle, the sequel of sorts of Twilight Struggle. Fox in the Forest Duet. Blood on the Clock Tower. Fort. Calico, or Cosmic Encounter Duel. All these games are not currently in the top 1000, but maybe one of them will make it. Maybe all of them will. I don't know.
What was the last one?
Cosmic Encounter Duel.
Cosmic Duel. Okay.
So we have Imperial Struggle, Fox in the Forest Duet, Blood on the Clock Tower, Fort, Calico, and Cosmic Encounter Duel. Just to clarify, Stephen, these are board games that have come out this year.
Thank you. Thank you, Tom. Thank you. Wow.
I know, right? This guy.
It's just, wow.
All right, you're first, I think, or is it me? No, I said Mexican first, so you're first.
Well, I know the number one. I'll say it later. Fort will be in the top 1,000.
So you're picking Fort as the number 2 answer, basically?
Well, as my answer.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm assuming I cannot pick the same thing, otherwise I can game the game, right?
Yes, that's not cool.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to make that a rule, yes.
Yes, he changed the rule again. I love it. It should have been a rule in the beginning, too. That's why you go first, second.
Yeah,
Yes.
come on. Tom, what's going on? Why don't you give the people now 3 points every time we give them points? What is happening?
I'm thinking about it. So
off the rails. It's so off the rails.
I'm also picking Fort. No. Man, okay, you took my choice. I'm thinking Calico's going to be one, and I think you agree with me there, Steven. Top 1,000? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you think Imperial Struggle is going to be one. I'm going with Cosmic Duel then.
I think that's going to be number one, actually. Cosmic Encounter Duel.
No. All right, well, number 6 on this list is Fox in the Forest Duet. Although, interestingly enough, I read these in the order that they're currently rated now.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So Imperial Struggle is the highest, Cosmic Encounter Duel is the lowest currently.
Okay.
Right.
But Fox in the Forest Duet only got 6 votes. Then Blood on the Clock Tower, which surprised me because I thought this had such a huge buzz coming in.
Right.
But that only got 8 votes. All right, so then number 4 was with only 18 votes, Cosmic Encounter Duel.
Okay.
Number 3, this was close, it was almost a tie, is Imperial Struggle with 28 votes. Is that what you thought would be number 1?
I was actually Cosmic Encounter Duel.
Oh, I see.
I thought it'd be Calico 1, Fort 2, then the rest.
And then number 2 is
we got
Calico
one,
at 29. Number 1, Fort with 33 votes. I don't know why you're laughing there, because that just gave the people 4 points. They now have 10 points. Yes, you're 14, but if you mess up again, Mr. Garcia, the people will win, and you'll both lose, which is what I want.
No.
Yes,
this is interesting because that means now if Steven cannot catch up to me, see, there's a game here, Tom.
Now I'm really
I know you
excited
didn't design it really, but there's a game in here. If he can't catch me, he can tank it, have the audience catch me, and have my brains eaten by the zombies, the mass of zombies. So
listen, my people, do this for me. Do this for me.
All right, let's go back to classic arcade games in the arcade. Of the following 6 games, which of these is the best arcade game? All right. Number 1, Pac-Man.
No.
Number 2, Q*bert.
No.
The cursing figure. Number 3, Space Invaders. Number 4, Donkey Kong. Number 5, Dragon's Lair. Number 6, Gauntlet.
Yes.
So we have Pac-Man, Q*bert, Space Invaders, Donkey Kong, Dragon's Lair, Gauntlet. I played all 6 of these. I'm sure you, at least, Steven, you must have played all these.
Oh, yeah. I can never even get past the first screen on Dragon's Lair. It's ridiculous, that game. It's the dumbest game ever made. They tried, but they failed miserably.
I think I've only played of all these guys. I've played Space Invader. I've played Pac-Man. And I've played Donkey Kong. I think that's it. The other ones I don't think I actually played at an arcade.
I played
Dragon Slayer, Q*bert.
College days. They played so much Space Invaders and Pac-Man. It was ridiculous. Yes, college days. That's when I was doing those things. I know that dates me. Who goes first?
I'm just surprised they were around. Were they prototypes?
They were prototypes we were testing in the computer lab for them.
Wow. So repeat the question. What was the topic about?
Basically, which of these is the best? Which one of these do people like the best of these?
Which one's the best? Donkey Kong is a classic, of course. Space Invaders up there, and Pac-Man is up there. So I'm hoping Space Invader. People said 1, so I'm going Donkey Kong for 2. How about that?
Okay.
I am going to take, and I'm not gaming the game because I would throw it and pick Dragon's Lair if I was. I'm going to go with Pac-Man as hopefully the number 2 game. Hopefully.
There you go.
All right.
I played a win, even though I can't.
Waka 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 waka.
Okay, I'm stopping it right here. This is the closest vote we've ever had.
Oh.
All right, number 6 by a mile is Qbert with 4. And then number 5, also out, is Dragon's Lair with 9. Then we have 28, 27, and 2 26s.
Wow.
That's how close it was. So the third place, which will give you 2 points, is Pac-Man and Space Invaders.
Interesting.
Second place with 27 is Donkey Kong. Number 1 is Gauntlet.
Yeah.
I can't be stopped.
Can't be stopped. He can't be stopped.
I eat
What
all
did you
the
say,
fruit.
Mr. Bonacor?
What'd you say? What was that?
What
took
did you vote for?
Pac-Man, so I don't. Well,
No,
no,
you
I'm,
get 2 points.
I get 2
points.
Get 2 for that.
All right, so the current scores are 10 for the people, 18 for Z, and 6 for Bonacor. There's 1 question left. We're doubling all the points.
Of course
Why
we
don't
are.
you just do this, Tom? Why don't you just do this? Just say nothing else mattered. This is it. It's like you get this when you win. How about that garbage?
Yeah.
Huh?
I have a 20-sided die here. Why
No.
don't I roll it?
Yeah, why don't I
Here's
just
the fun,
And if it's over like 3, the
fun
people win.
fact.
If it's a
fun
2, you
fact,
win. If it's a 1, I win.
Even with double points, he can't beat you. So, all right.
Well, then triple it.
Come on, my
Come on,
people.
baby.
No.
Fix it in an
Which
expansion.
of these would bother you the most when buying a used game? Okay,
So-
which of these would bother you the most? Number 1, dented box. Number 2, wrinkled rule book missing a page. Number 3, missing 1 counter. Number 4, stains on the board or box.
Ew.
Number 5, nicked cards. And number 6, trash in the box. Which of these would bother you the most? When you buy a used game and you get it, is the box dented, a wrinkled rulebook missing a page, missing a counter, just 1, stains on the board of the box, nicked cards, or trash in the box? I've had all these happen to me.
Not at the same time, right? I mean,
Bother you the
that's
most.
not, you know. If you have them all at once, you need to stop dumpster diving. I think. Wow. Okay. Who's first? I should go first. No,
Yeah, you're first. You're first anyway.
Would you? I'll tell you what, Bonacor, you're losing. Would you rather go first, or would you rather I go first? How about that?
No, I believe in the rules, Z. Unlike some people in this.
No, okay.
This thing.
Don't talk to me about rules.
No,
Come on, man.
rules. There's rules. You go first. I stay by the rules. I'm a man of my word.
All right, here we go. These are all terrible. Dented box is fine compared to the rest of this nastiness.
Yeah, we'll agree with that.
Missing 1 counter sucks, but unless it's really vital, fine. Nicked cards is also fine. Sleeve them, whatever. Trash in the box, you can just remove the trash. Missing page has to be 1. Stains is disgusting, and I will say it is the number 2. There are stains of an indeterminate origin all over the board.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Ooh, the Rona.
Oh, I should have put smoke. I didn't think about that too. This
smell of smoke.
Smell of smoke.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with with trash in the box because the trash wasn't defined. Like, yeah, so if it was like a small piece of paper, not a big deal. But what first came into my mind was not that. And if I found trash in the game, I would be kind of disgusted. So trash in the box.
What did you think of, Steven?
I did not think of a little bit of like paper.
Trash. I've
Trash.
seen like a dead bug in a box before.
Like a banana peel.
Ah, why would that even be in the box?
Well, you said trash, and I'm looking at my trash over there. I guarantee there's a banana peel in that trash, and there's coffee grinds in that trash.
Oh my goodness! Trash from the local prop department for a TV show.
It's a game about composting, so they were just being very green. Yeah.
Yeah, I could compost. They probably should start with all the.
Alrighty. Well, anyhow, the number 6 vote by a mile was Dennett Box. You're right. Only 5 people voted for that.
Big deal.
Number 4 with 18 votes was Trash in the Box.
4. Well, number 5.
Number 5. Sorry, number 5.
Oh, terrible.
Number 4 with 20 votes, missing 1 counter. Number 3, Nicked Cards. Number 2, 29 votes to number 135. Was the wrinkled rulebook missing a page? Number 1, stains on the board and box.
Aha.
People would rather have a missing page in the rulebook.
Yeah, but you can.
Download the rulebook.
Download the rulebook. That would be my.
Dude, where those stains come from, dude? Whose stains are they?
Well, they're usually coffee. They're usually coffee.
Tom Vassell
You don't
stains.
know, do you?
I do not want.
Here's the thing about coffee stains. They have a particular hue. They fall somewhere on the color spectrum.
You're making this worse. Okay. So our final scores.
It's like my banana
Mr.
peel.
Bannock has 6 points. Z has 18 points. And the people have 18 points.
Oh.
Why?
Well, because you both missed it, that gave them 8 more points.
Oh, no.
However, in a tiebreaker, it goes to Z Garcia because of rule changes during the game.
I do not buy that.
I love this game, Tom.
This is
as soon as you hit Kickstarter with this, hit me up.
Yeah.
I'm there.
Yeah, I'm going to back
I'm in
this.
for $1 just so I can comment.
Yeah. That's what I would do.
All righty.
Vassell
Well, that's
changes
the
the rules.
Congratulations to our winner, Z.
Right.
And Mr. Bonnecor's streak is broken, but
I was
hopefully
wrong.
he'll win next week against me. We'll see. All righty,
That's all that
folks.
matters.
We'll talk.
We got some more contributors, and here they are.
So this is Grand Theft Cthulhu. So Tom got the giant Cthulhu miniature for Death May Die, and we had talked a little bit about trying to paint it up. And he's like, oh, you don't have time for that. But he said I could do it if I found the time. And he was out of town this past weekend. So I thought, hey, I'm going to steal the Cthulhu and paint it up and sneak it back into the studio before he even notices it's missing. And then that night I also had some spray paint of different colors. So I got green and black. So I did the entire base black. I did the whole thing black first. And then I covered up the different areas of the base and then sprayed Cthulhu himself green, trying to get all that stuff done. And then I did a ton of dry brushing. So I just dry brushed the black gray with a couple different layers of gray, dry brushed the Cthulhu himself, a lighter green color, and then I basically did a lot of basing, like put some brown across the bottom of it and colored in the water on the bottom itself as well, and basically gave the water like a gloss finish to make it kind of look a little bit more liquid and shiny and stuff like that. And then the intense part is I had to color in all the little holes in this Cthulhu. That's definitely the part of the Cthulhu that's super creepy to me, but I definitely enjoyed the way that it turned out overall. I went with orange for the little spots and then purple for the tentacles on his face. And I did a bunch of different things to try to make it look super good. Overall, it took quite a while, especially when it got to filling in the little dots and things like that. But then I took the Cthulhu back and I snuck it back into the studio. And I got it put back in its place before Tom could find out. So let's take a little bit of a look at how the Cthulhu looks. All right, so here is the finished Cthulhu. It's kind of hard to get the entire thing on camera, but I'll try to like spin it around for you. All of these little holes were intense to paint, but I really love the way like the water down here looks. All right, so there's the finished giant Cthulhu from Death May Die. Definitely a big project to tackle, but being able to spray paint prime it made it a lot easier. Even though it's a giant area, it used a ton of paint, but overall it wasn't too bad. And I got it all done in a weekend. It did take quite a few hours, but yeah, hopefully you like this, and on to more breakfast.
Hi, I'm Josh from the YouTube channel Josh Yaks, here to talk about another mechanism that helps bring a game's theme to life. This one comes from Skulk Hollow, a two-player game where an endless horde of small and relatively weak Foxen heroes are battling against one lone but huge and powerful monster known as a Guardian. What's the mechanism I'm going to talk about? Allow me to show you. The conflict always begins in a zoomed out perspective on the Skulk Hollow map as players use cards to tactically maneuver their creatures around the board. However, at some point, the little Foxen warriors are going to want to get up close and personal with the Guardian, and they can do so by using leap cards to jump onto the lowest part of the Guardian's body. The mechanism that allows players to play this out is a separate board that represents the Guardian's actual body. In the case of this Guardian, who is named Raptra, the Foxen hero chooses which foot to leap onto. One of Raptra's special abilities is that it can fly, so a fox may only do this if Raptra is not currently in the air. The fox can then use further leap actions to move around the imposing figure of the Guardian and to attack specific body parts, which if taken out of commission can remove specific abilities from the Guardian for as long as those areas remain unhealed. For example, removing Raptra's claw abilities would leave it unable to attack while it's on the ground, and eliminating its shriek ability would mean that it can no longer attack from the air. There are 4 different Guardians to choose from in the game, each with very different bodies and correspondingly different abilities. This fun Guardian board mechanism allows the Foxen player to feel like their little heroes are scrambling around the body of the Guardian and poking at it, while the powerful beast attempts to shake them off and overpower the much smaller creatures. Skulk Hollow is simple and quick, yet it is a highly thematic tactical battle that is brought to life in the details that these mechanisms provide. I look forward to chatting about another thematic mechanism next time, and until then, do stop by my Josh Yaks YouTube channel and let me know that you saw me on the Dice Tower. Cheers!
Brandy, Dylan, we game together.
Can we play now?
Yes.
Hi guys, I am Randy.
I'm Ellen. We're We Game Together.
And we're continuing yet again our series on the first games that got us into the hobby. Yep. And today we're another two-parter here. We're talking about Loot that we purchased on 5/27/15, and also Sushi Go we purchased on the same day. So at this point, I'm thinking, all right, so Ellen's kind of latching more on these pretty light,
a little bit
party-ish games. Right, so I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to kind of keep going down to those light, small party type, family entry level games. And, I don't know much about heavy Euros or anything at this point. I definitely have seen a few games. I'm like, I really want to get those, but I just don't think Ellen's going to like them.
That's so sweet that you put that much consideration into it, where you were like,
plenty of thought,
purposely buying like the super light stuff, which is fun stuff.
So Loot was a game that I got that I thought our whole family could play. It plays up to 5 players. At the time, one of our kiddos that would be gaming age is still pretty young, so I think we mostly played 4-player.
Yeah,
and that's a great game, and our kids still will pull that out from time to time and play it.
Yes.
It's a quick card game, takes a little bit of space. You're trying to capture other people's ships with, you have different level cards, and you have captains. We didn't play it a lot, but it's a game that our kids really enjoyed, and I would actually still recommend this game.
Yeah, I would too. Yeah,
it's still a great game to just kind of pull out. You can keep it in a box of goodies and kind of pull it out wherever.
Goodie box.
Also, Sushi Go. So that was our first endeavor into the drafting. So it's basically a straight drafting game.
Yes.
And again, pretty light. Found out about it again on Dice Tower. Most of these first games that we bought are Dice Tower specials.
Because
you would
talk about Dice Tower all the time. And I'm like, what is that?
Just I was watching their top 10s and everything. So a lot of these games were kind of on their radar. So therefore on mine.
I remember the concept of drafting to me at the time was really interesting. I had never seen it before. And Sushi Go is the perfect, are you learning to draft? Here, play this game. Because it's just cute. It's simple. People get really into the art.
We are getting to the point now. I'm like, I'm finding some games that Ellen likes. So this is, we're kind of going onto a path, and you'll find that most of these games that we're going to talk about coming up here, a lot of them are purchased in the next couple months.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember you suddenly buying a
Lots of
ton of games. I was not happy.
You
at
give me an
that
inch,
time.
I'm going to take a mile.
That is how he lives his life, y'all.
Sushi Go, I would actually recommend buying Sushi Go Party because you can play standard Sushi Go with it, or you can kind of expand. It's got built-in like expansions, if you will, and variety. So that's the one I would go for. All right, guys, check us out on the next one, and we're going to continue this series probably for a while.
Yeah.
That's it for today, folks. Thanks so much for watching Board Game Breakfast. Real quick shout out. Yesterday we did crowd surfing, and we missed a big project, so I just wanted to mention it now. And that's the Stefan Feld City Collection, Hamburg and Amsterdam from Queen Games. Those are the reprints of Bruges, and was Amsterdam a reprint of Macau?
Macau, yeah.
Yeah, and they have really, really deluxe versions of these too. So I just wanted to mention those because we missed them, and so you got 5 days left, but we won't get to our next crowd surfing. So.
All right, awesome.
That's pretty much it, though. We had a
Great
good
show.
time today. I'll be
Thank you.
back later on today at 2 o'clock doing a Tom Reacts video. First time we've done something like that on the Dice Tower.
What
We'll
are
see.
you reacting to, Tom?
I'm reacting to a top 10 list that was made while I was gone. I have not yet watched it, so I'm sure we'll all be fine. I'm sure there'll be no problems.
I loved it. That's the best top 10 list of all time.
Yeah,
heard it here
resume
first.
looks good. My resume is up to date.
All righty, well, I'll see you all back here then. Until next time, though, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
And I'm Stephen Bonacore.
Have fun gaming.